teach how to simplify big roots, especially if you don't know the combination of two numbers that you can use to get that root. For example, let's say we want to simplify root, let's say 108, and you don't know two numbers that would give you 108, or you don't know a perfect square and another number that will give you 108. So what you can do is you can actually start with the multiplication you know. For example, I know that 9 times 12 will give me 108, but I don't know any other one. So I could possibly use this one to be able to solve it by separating it into root 9 times root 12. I'll simplify root 9 to 3, and you know that I still need to simplify root 12. And root 12 will give me root 4 times 3, and I can just keep going like that and get 3 times 2 root 3, because this is this is 2, because root 4 is 2, and then we have 3 there. And this will give me 6 root 3. Or I can decide that I want to use prime factorization. Now let me explain what I mean by prime factorization. So it means you need to divide a number by prime numbers, or starting with 2. So if 2 divides 108, we get 54, right? If 2 divide 54, we get 27. If 2 divide 27, we get, 2 cannot divide 27, sorry. If 3 divide 27, so we should get 9, and 3 into 9 is 3, 3 into 3 is 1. So we have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. Now, from these you can get different combinations of numbers, two numbers that can give you 108. For example, you can say 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 4 times 27 will give you 108. Or you can decide that you want to use a different combination. 2 times 3 is 6, and then you have 2 times 3 times 3, which will give you 18. So 18 times 6 will give you 108. Well, our goal is to look for a combination that one has a square number and the other does not. So let us see if we can get it. So you are going to look for the largest number by starting with 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. This will give us 36. Because 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 3 is 36, and then you have times 3 here. And you see this is a square number, and it's just a number that we cannot find the root. So this would work, we'll just get the combination straight away. So we can now use that to solve root 108. So if we have to solve root 108, we can just use that 36 times 3. And then we can exchange it to root 36 times root 3, and this will be 6 times root 3, and this will be 6 root 3. This is supposed to be shorter, but it depends on how good you are with prime factorization. Now let's try another one. So let's say we are asked to simplify root 432. Now this is a bigger number, and for many, nothing will really come to mind for two numbers. So maybe prime factorization could work. So we can just start with 2. 2 into this will give us 216. 2 into this should give us 108. 2 into this should give us 54. And 2 into this should give us 27. If we use 3 here, we get 9. If we use 3 here, we get 3. If we use 3, we get 1. So basically, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. So we can try by looking for the largest multiplication, largest multiple. So we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, then times this one. So we say 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 3 is 48, 48 times 3 is 144. And so we get 144 here times 3 here. So we see we have two values, and one of them is a square number times the other one that is not. And you know, root 144 is 12, but we cannot find the square root of 3, so this would just be the answer. So it is that easy if you know how to use prime factorization.